Hello everyone. So this is a BWB session and we are going to start in a minute. But before that, I will try to get all the required participants into the session. I'm trying to get Dr. Geeta in the session and Shitapa. So today's session is about the fiction book which we were talking about last week, Three Men in a Boat, and we are going to dive into that. Going to talk to Dr. Geeta and Shitapa, my co-author friends who are also part of amazing books. They have read a lot of books, and today we are going to talk about the fiction book, Three Men in a Boat, and Dr. Geeta is going to enlighten us with whatever happened next in that book. So over to you, Dr. Geeta. Thank you.
Hi everyone. So, are you all excited to know about a character who is real and who is from the life of the author Jerome in his book Three Men in a Boat? Okay. So then, before that, a welcome to BWB because I am super thrilled to be here and just waiting to take you all on a journey of new books and new experiences. All right. And if you are excited, please also remember that this book is 130 years old and it's such a super duper, the laughter riot and such a bestseller even to this day. And it is so hilarious and relatable to our own lives also. You're going to take up a lot of insights.
Very true.
And at the same time, let us also remember that how books will empower us, literature and the words, how they empower us and widen our horizons and deepen our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And that's exactly what we are going to do in BWB. We are going to deepen your knowledge of human experiences so that you will have a lot of takeaways. So then, if you are excited to know who is this real, the individual, the character in the book, then let me enlighten you. It is none other than the cutesy, adorable pet of Jerome, Montmorency, the angelic creature. Yeah, so cute he is, fox terrier, and he's a bundle of mischief. And if anybody sees his angelic expression and his innocent innocence, people will think, oh my God, how is he going to survive in this harsh world? But whenever you hear a noise, a fight going on in the street far away, third street away, it is Montmorency for sure. If there is any disturbance, wow, wow, going on outside, it is Montmorency for sure. And if it is inside the house, there is a lot of commotion going on as the packing is going on. You can be sure it is Montmorency. All right.
Wow.
So this guy is one who is a free spirit. Nothing to stop him. All right. He's the one with the master of himself. Yes. Now these people have finished their packing and they're going to start on their journey. And they are now waiting for a cab. But look at the fun of it. Every time, every 1 minute, there is a three cab, passing by and getting into their way. But that day, none, no cab to be seen on the street. They are standing at the street with the luggage at their feet, and all the neighbors watching. And somebody makes a comment. They are moving house because of the amount of food stuff and all that they have packed there. So people just gather around just to see the fun, how the house is, the moving is going on, and they start giving comments. Somebody says, "Oh, so much of luggage. Where are they going?" They are not going to starve for weeks and stuff like that. And this is what is going on, and they're standing there feeling so bad. And have you had such kind of experiences, Sritapa? What do you make of such kind of situations? It is too
Yeah,
bad.
this character is so funny, and we see these people in and around us. Actually, I'll tell you one incident which happened, and we will be able to relate this scene so well. So, one of my friend, she had packed few things from her house, the books, the old clothes, and some house stuffs to donate. Okay, and all these packed stuffs she put it downstairs, and she was waiting for the cab to come.
Hmm.
So suddenly then a neighbor saw her downstairs with all the luggage, and she assumed that they are vacating the flat. And she started saying that I knew the rent must have been raised by the owner, and you poor guys have to vacate the house. Nowadays, this is the problem of young life, and they have to take so much of struggle of shifting and all this. That time, a person was passing by, and suddenly he overheard her saying this, and he stepped forward to say that, giving an advice that if they need any movers and packers, he will be able to help because he has the contact number of the person who will be really helpful in this tough time.
So,
And that's where the security guard in the main gate got a complete understanding of she is vacating the house and this is the last day
oh my
of the
God.
person. And the guard came out to her and said that, oh, ma'am, Madam Ji, you are leaving. I will miss your morning chats when you used to come down for walk. So when
My
all
God.
this is happening, she's just giving a look of what why are they discussing all this. By that time, cab arrives, and the cab driver asks, airport or railway station?
Oh God. This is the usual. Oh my God, so relatable. So
Yeah, I think it's so hilarious. And she moved forward and said, Bhaiya, it's not neither of them. I am supposed to donate these stuffs to a charity place, so we have to take it there. So, udhar jana hai. We have to go there. So, that's how it is that people start making perception of things, and then instead of focusing on the facts, they just jump into conclusions. So I
Yes.
will say it is very important to rather than building perception from the outer perspective of what is visible,
hmm,
focus on the real story and what is the actual thing which is happening in life.
very,
That will really help.
True.
Now, what do
very
you
true.
True.
think, Siddharth? Do you have some experience like this of people commenting?
I have a very different experience, and it is, I'm sure you will be laughing. Even I was laughing at that situation. I was traveling with my friends. My friends have kids, and they wanted to go to some, lonely places where they were couples. So they wanted me to take care of their kids. There were five kids there, and my friends just went to enjoy. And I was managing those five kids. It was such a mess. It was. They were crying, cranking, all that. I tried to move them towards the playground area, and I was trying to make them at least smile, but they were crying, shouting, all that.
Oh
And
God.
somebody who was passing by, they said, "What kind of father he is? He cannot even take care of his kids." And then somebody joined him. He said, "Okay, these parents today don't know how to do parenting. That is what is going on." Oh my God! I was listening to them. No, I am not their father. I was trying to explain them, and these guys are crying, shouting, and I lost my focus to the main work which I had to close. Now this is something which was so hilarious. When I told my friends who came back, their actual parents, they were laughing. Yes, this is something which you should be used to, because you are single and you have to take care of kids. I was like, no, Vash, I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh God. I swear it is too good. Too funny.
I know. So yes, but we are still to learn a lot from this book, I am sure. So what is the next one, Dr. Geeta?
So, as finally the cab arrived, all right, and they got into the cab, and even Montmorency's friends are waiting. They also get into the cab, not wanting to be separated, and somehow his
Mm.
friends are, dumped out, and the cab proceeds. They go to the Waterloo station because they have to catch the Kingston train, all right, and they go there. They have a porter, and they are just 5 minutes to 11, and they have to catch the 11 that line to Kingston. Now they don't know which platform is it. So the porter tells them, "Don't worry, it is in platform number 2." They go there, no Kingston train. So they go and ask the station master. He says it is in level 2. And they go there, no train there. So now they think, okay, the porter says, this talks to the other porter, and the porter says, I think it is in the platform number 1. They rush there also. Finally, they go to the superintendent and ask him, and he says, a man told me that it is in that platform number 4. And they rush there. There is one train standing, and the driver is also there. All right. They go and ask the driver, which line is this? And he says, I don't know whether it is the Kingston line or the Waterloo loop or it is the Queen's. He doesn't know. Okay. I can be anything, he says. So
Yeah.
then Jerome tells him, so then why don't you become the Kingston line? Nobody will come to know. You can be the Kingston line and please take us. And after persuasion, it goes to the Kingston, and they finally go to that Kingston there, and they arrive. My God, like how, situations arise, and how do you manage the situations?
True.
Sritapa, have you had such,
I, I could have, I could instantly think of one of the incident, which I still laugh on just thinking about it. One of my colleagues, he went to Bangalore for an office work. Okay, and but after the work, he was returning back to Mumbai. So he was supposed to take a flight, and he started from Koramangala. And by the time in the morning he reached Outer Ring Road, it was fully packed with traffic. And that time he, yeah, the traffic is so bad in Bangalore. If it gets stuck, it can take hours to get cleared. So that time the driver said that, Saabji, I feel that we will not be able to reach the airport on time. It will take at least 50 minutes to reach the airport, and I think you might miss your flight. So it the situation of a panic state,
Yes.
of course. But the colleague was very smart. He just scanned the surroundings, that what is in and around him, how can he make it happen, because he was very determined to reach the airport. And he was like, why I have to reach, why I have a flight, who will book again, and
Can
it will be a
imagine.
whole lot of mess. So he just quickly found out that there is one bike taxi driver standing at a far, and no one was riding him, and he's vacant. So he just quickly went to the person and requested that, yeah, can you take me to airport? I'm going to miss my flight, otherwise I'm stuck in this traffic,
Smart.
and it's very
That's
urgent, can you
smart.
please help? And he's
Smart.
smart. Yeah, quickly he applied his innovative idea to find out alternative solutions. And this guy, he understood the situation, and that time there was no time to book the ride and take him. So he said, I'll pay you whatever you want, just take me along. And he agreed. So this person took that ride with through inner lanes of Bangalore, somehow zigzagged and reached the airport. So the challenge doesn't end when he enters. While coming, he quickly called his friend and said, inform the airport person that I am on my way and I'm about to reach, so that they don't close the gates. So someone is there to
Wow.
escort me inside. Yeah. So the airport people were informed. So one of them was standing outside in the terminal. When he entered, there was a long queue. So it would have taken him easily 30 minutes more to enter in the airport. But luckily that guy was there, and he took the faster route. So he could enter and manage the security check and everything on time, and boarded his
Presence
flight.
of mind. Presence of mind has to be
That
there, right?
Yes, presence of mind. Because when you are dealing with such problem, or time crisis, or whatever is the situation, I think the old conventional, the old conventional process or
Method.
setup may not work always.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, if you go by that flow, may not work. So just think innovatively, be flexible, use your mind, and the focus should be to achieve the goal.
Yes.
And see, because he was determined, he just somehow managed it. And
True.
many of us must have dealt this situation. What do you think, Siddharth? Anything happened
I
like this
can
with you?
completely relate to Bangalore incident because I was working in Bangalore for quite long. So this is a similar incident like yours, but it is a little different. So I was in Bangalore. I had to go to the station, and typically because I had a high post, so I was given a big car. I was in a sedan, big car, sitting at the back, cherishing the music, and this was how the car was driving. I was thinking, wow, what I'm doing, great work I'm doing here. And then comes the famous Hosur Silkport traffic jam,
Bub-
where
Bubble burst.
The
bubble burst.
mystery begins.
Exactly. So, I just thought that I didn't realize that I was part of the traffic jam, but in a minute or so, I realized that the jam is big, and my driver was not having any worries. I was telling him, "Okay, will we get out of it?" He said, "Yes, sir, we will." And we were like 30 minutes into it, and we didn't even move 1 kilometer, I would say.
Oh,
So I was really getting frustrated. I was now getting frustrated. Why I'm on this car? And then surprisingly, somebody was knocking on the door, back door, and I was thinking, what is happening? So that knock made me lower the windshield and the window, and I asked, what's it? So he said, do you want to get to the station? I'm like, yes. How do you know? No, no, sir, we know. Just get on the bike. So I had just a laptop bag, so I don't know what I thought about. I was cool at that point. I was just thinking, okay, I need to get to the station, and I
yes.
got it. I took the ride with him, and he dropped me going through by lanes and small lanes and all those shortcuts of Bangalore roads, and I reached the station in time. And then I
Wow.
asked, "Did you know me?" So he told me that I was part of your one of your projects, and I have been taught by you in some of the classes.
Wow.
Like, oh my God!
Amazing. Amazing.
Wow,
Providence.
this
Providence.
this this is like karma returning in some form. I was like amazed. Wow. I don't know how it returned, but you should be doing good karma. So this is a different example. That's why I felt like blessed that day. But the innovation of coming out of the traffic jam with a biker, an unknown person, but I somehow trusted that he knew me, and I was away. I mean, out of this problem somehow. So I feel that it is very important in these situations we stay calm and we think about the situation, and then we are getting out of it through a innovative. So that is very important. But that I think is what Jerome was doing there, and this is something amazing to know about from the three men written, 130 years back. That lesson is still very relatable even now.
Yes.
What next
Yeah.
in your list of lessons today, Gita ji?
Yes, I agree with you totally. It's so relatable. So finally, they reach Kingston, and the boat is waiting for them under the bridge. And Jerome and Harris get into the boat, and George is going to meet them, join them in the next town. So now, when they are moving on the River Thames, Jerome becomes so happy because it is such a beautiful, weather. The river is very calm, and on the sides of the river, on the banks, you have beautiful scenery, and then you have the Hampton Court Palace, and then he starts to, daydream how it was must have been in those days when the kings and the queens and the court was going on, and all the courtiers and the, the lords and the ladies coming in the chariots, and the hoof sounds there, the chariot wheels, and all such beauty. He lost in the reverie. He forgets that he is navigating with the line in his hand. The boat is moving, and Harris is steering. So when he is lost the line there, the boat just goes aground. It just goes to the bank, and Harris is so upset. He shouts at him. He says, "Now you come and take the steering, okay?" Now when he is at the steering wheel, what is he doing? So now they are, just moving there, moving, and on the banks of the river, he sees the maze. Harry sees the Hampton Court maze, which is very famous, and he remembers an incident and he narrates it to Jerome. So then what happened? Harris's country cousin had come to visit the maze, and Harris had already studied the map, and he thinks it is such a simple maze. Why they are having a map there? It is so silly. And he tells his country cousin, "So I will take you inside, and it is very simple. It is just one formula you have to follow. You just keep turning right, and you will arrive, and you will exit." So he says, "We will go inside. We will just move around for 10 minutes, and then we will be just exiting, and we'll go catch our lunch." And then they go inside. And when they go inside, they come across a group of people who have already been there more than an hour. And they're desperate, they've had enough. They want to get out. So they see that Harris is like an authority saying that, he's going to get out of the maze within 10 minutes. So they start following him. Within no time, there is a group of people following who have been there for long and who have lost all hopes of getting out of it, who have lost all hopes of seeing the family and friends. And, they go in a procession. There is one, a mother and a child, and she's so desperate, she catches hold of Harry's arm and clings to him because she's afraid she will lose him. And as they are going, the country cousin observes and he says, "Oh, this is a very huge maze. We've been here for such a long time, and I'm sure I've seen that bun lying there on the ground or the way past, we have been passing that." And the lady with the child, she says, "Yes, I had thrown that bun on the ground there." And now she turns against Jerome, and Harris, and she says, "You are an imposter." The crowd turns against him, and now Harris has to save his reputation. He takes out the map and shows them, and they say yes, the map is right, but where are we in that map? He doesn't know. So he says, "Okay, let us go towards the entrance." And then they start moving towards the entrance, and they land up in the center of the maze. And after that, every time they take a turn, they come back to the center. The crowd is really going crazy. They start shouting. And when he takes out the map to again look at it, they say, "You use that map to curl your hair." And they start shouting for the guard now. The guard comes running, and unfortunately, it is a new guard and a young guard. Okay, he brings a ladder and he climbs into the maze. He doesn't even know how to get into the entrance. And he's at the other side of the hedge, okay, one hedge outside, and he starts running towards them. "I'm coming, I'm coming." And they're waiting there expectantly for 5 minutes for him to reach them. And then they see him, he's moving to the left, and after some time he's moving to the right, and then he's asked them, "Where are you all going? I am coming towards you." And this happens for some time, and that the guard is lost. Now these people, they are desperate. They start shouting, and it is already late evening. Can you imagine? It is like afternoon they had entered. It is late evening now, dinner time. Now the old guard who had completed his dinner, he arrives and he lets them out. And then, as Harris is telling it to Jerome, he says, it is a fine maze, a very simple maze, and, they now decide they will make George get into the maze on their way back. Have you seen
Oh
such
my
kind of
God.
people like Harris? Oh my God. Have you
I,
seen,
I can relate, Geetaji, on this because you know what? At times people try to lead blindly when they don't know themselves about it. And I will be giving you one example from corporate. You know what had happened. So there was a problem which was given, and it has a SLA with it. Like 24 hours, we have to solve that and deliver it. So there was a person who was leading that. So this is like a random corporate example I'm giving, not specifically from my office, but yeah. So what happens? Like people tend to lead something, and the person said, "Okay, I will be owning it. I'll try to resolve it." And he sits with it, analyze it, asks the team because he's a lead, asks the team to bring out this data, that data, all the kind of data. The team is writing queries and finding out data from the database and giving it to him. That okay, is this helping you in your analysis? And they kept on doing that and wasted almost half of the day doing all this. And then finally they realized that okay, it's a waste of time, because when they consult to someone expert, they said this is not needed, so solution is
oh my
something else.
God.
So I think then everything gets delayed and screwed up, and time crunch begins and everyone gets exhausted. So better, if you are not aware of something, let's not lead that, because it's complete waste of time. So this is what Harris did. He was not sure whether he knows the exit, and he started leading everyone, and
True.
wasted everyone's time, including him. So this is what I think we avoid. Yeah. So what do you think, Geeta?
Yes, yes, definitely. When you're not an expert, I feel you should leave it to the experts and not pretend to be otherwise. Yes, guys,
Right.
I hope you had taken. What do you think, Sri? What do you think? The guys. We hope you have had a lot of takeaways from this, and you are enjoying the journey of the three friends on the river, and you are going to use these takeaways, these insights in your own life too. And for more insights and for more takeaways, don't forget to follow us on this fiction book next Tuesday. So what do you think, Siddharth?
Absolutely, absolutely. We should be learning from these books because they are very relatable insights. Even today, we are getting so much learning from them. My conclusion, if I try to summarize what we learned today, there are three important learnings coming out from the session we had. One, that if you are getting distracted and people around you are having assumptions, leave them. Don't get distracted by their thoughts, because
Yeah.
assumptions will be there in the air and that should not change your focus. So focus on your goal. That is more important. Don't get distracted by people telling something to you.
Beautiful.
That was the first lesson when we talked about. The second lesson, which is about innovation. When we are stuck somewhere,
Yes.
we don't know what to do. Innovation is the only way to get out of it. So don't lose your calm mind. Keep your mindful approach to solve a problem and not get angry about it. So innovation always helps.
Definitely.
And the third one, which is very important, and I think I love this one the most, because this is the power of authenticity. If you don't know something, don't pretend to become somebody, right? So
Definitely.
it is
Definitely.
it is very important that you talk about only the things which you have experienced yourself, or you are expert yourself and you know how it works. If you don't know that, then don't pretend to be one. That actually kills a lot of time of others, which is really not beneficial to anybody. It is not beneficial to you, it is not beneficial to others also. So don't become that guy that I know everything, and then when you give solutions, those are like flat.
Beautiful. Beautiful
So
summing up. Beautiful summing up. Yes, I
100%.
resonate totally.
yes, I mean, if you are missing on reading in your daily habits, then this is a channel to help you get that habit created. We are a channel which we are also having a WhatsApp channel. Do follow us there. Don't miss it, because there we are actually building this habit of reading, and reading not only books just for knowledge, reading books which will have insights, which will create life skills, actionable life skills, which you are going to enjoy. So with that, I'm trying to ask everybody to join these sessions.
Yes.
If you are not to join these sessions, then follow us on the Instagram, watch our reels, and be prepared for the Sunday brunch with five cooks and which is a the most important part, which we want everybody to be participating in, because there we actually have a quiz where we have a chance to win and win goodies, and we want people to win goodies there. So thank you so much for joining us today. Do share your feedback on this session. Did you like this session? Did you enjoy this session? If you have any feedback, do share with us. Don't miss out this and the next session for the.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. And we have already Geeta Kariyappa, one of my author friends, joining in. And today we have some exciting conversation. So let's see whether we have Siddharth. Hello everyone, introducing Siddharth and Geeta Kariyappa for today's talk for our non-fiction book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. And we will be discussing the level 3 and level 4 of this book. So let's see what is in for this talk today. And I'm sure you have enjoyed the previous conversation of last Friday for level 1 and 2. So Geeta ji, please let us know what happened in the level 1 and 2 of this book. Give us a quick recap, and I'm curious to know about the next two levels.
And looking forward to inviting you and taking you all on a journey of new books and new perspectives. So, how many of you are excited to start reprogramming your mind to be the better version of yourself by using this self talk, scripted self talk, specific steps, reprogrammable vocabulary to move towards your desired goal and to live your life to the fullest potential? Yes, that is why we are bringing this book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. And this is a path-breaking book because it is the culmination of 20 years of behavioral research by this renowned author, and he has used different modalities: time management, self-belief, self-management, and meditation, everything. And he says they all work wonderfully and they bring the desired results, but one thing is that they are temporary because they don't actually address the human mind. And it says self-talk is the one which addresses the human mind, helps in reprogramming the mind. And you know what? It is the super glue which holds all the success factors together. And we all know that our brain is like a computer. It stores everything it hears and sees, and our subconscious is like a the command center, right? And it always listens to what we say, what we think, what self-limiting beliefs we have, what the others are telling about us, and their perceptions is sitting inside our mind, right? And we are thinking very negatively about ourselves, and the subconscious is always seeing and watching and listening, and it is believing everything. So it is the script master. It starts, that negative self-talk in our brain, which goes on round and round and round, and we start thinking negatively about ourselves. So Helmstetter has 5 levels. So we discussed the level 1 and 2 in the previous episode on Friday. All right. Let me quickly give you a recap of the level 1 and level 2. So level 1 is about negative self-acceptance, okay? Self-acceptance of our negativity. So we always believe that we are not enough, we don't have this, we don't have that, we are not productive enough, we don't have the capability, we are not good enough. And, this keeps on, coming out in the words, I can't. Only if I could. So just to give you an example, I had once taken part in a singing competition in a group, and my baritone was louder than all the other melodious, sweet voices. And immediately I thought, oh my God, I can't sing to save my own life. If somebody is holding a gun to my head and says sing also, I can't sing melodiously. And that is where I said, I can't. So this is how we start, reprogramming, saying I can't, which is very bad. And the second level is where I know that I'm harming myself by using this negative self-talk, and I know that I need to change. But I procrastinate. So I keep on saying, I need to change. I need to do this. Like, I'm a very bad example. I go to sleep late and I wake up late. And I always say, I need to get up early. I should not procrastinate. I need to, go for a walk, etc. So it comes out in the words, I need to, I should. So these are the level 1 and the level 2. Let us go on to the level 3, which is very interesting. So here we are progressing because we now make a conscious decision to change. So when we make a conscious decision to change, we will be looking for opportunities everywhere. We will be looking for choices. We will be looking at where we can change, for example, right? So we will see how we can change ourselves, where we can change, what changes we can make, bring about, because we are, like our self-talk is destroying us, because we are losing out on opportunities, we are losing out on success, we are losing out on progress. So we look at where I can bring the changes, and I will take a commitment to, replace my negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Wherever I say negative statements, I bring in positive affirmations like, I never, means I never speak badly about myself. I no longer procrastinate. I no longer think I am bad, not good. So like that, that I no longer, I never are these words which will be bringing in this positive affirmation and replacing our previous self-talk, negative self-talk. Just to give you an example, let me relate it to my own experience. So I have more than 27 years of teaching experience as a professor in universities in Bangalore and also engineering college in Mysore. But I remember very vividly my very first class for second BCom students of a government college in Bangalore. So when I went to take the class, it was the very first class, and I saw all these grown-up boys there, and it is more than 70 students in a huge classroom with a big ceiling and two doors, which is exit, the back and the, near me, and the big windows where anybody could get in and get out. So there is so much of commotion. There is, that because it is a breezy room, so much my voice is echoing, and in a group they are talking, and some are, staring, some are making cat calls, and I'm like in tears. But I put on this brave show. Somehow I finished my talk. Then I go home and I cry my heart out. My mother, seeing my state, she says, "One sparrow on songbird doesn't make the spring." That is, your one bad experience is not going to define your whole career as a professor or a teacher. And I take you could say comfort with those words, and I start to try again, and I look at how I can change my technique of teaching, how I can bond with the students, how I can use even the what you say mother tongue words to make them listen to me, and that is a different story altogether. But what I will be looking at is positive words like, I would say that I am able to do this, I am able to do that, I can, I never, I don't procrastinate, I no longer do this. So this is really going to work. And to connect it to the fiction of Three Men in a Boat, we saw in the last episode, Jerome and Harris are rushing. If it is possible, they would have run, I think. So they're rushing to the Kingston train station to catch that train, which is going to go in 11 o'clock, 5 minutes later. And they are there 5 minutes to 11. So they are rushing from platform to platform. And even the porter is just running with that oversized luggage. Can you imagine? And nobody is able to help them. They, even the station master doesn't know where the train is coming, which station. And even the superintendent also is not able to guide them. And so much of tension and stress. And they run here and there. And I am sure you can imagine what is Jerome thinking in his mind. So definitely, he would have been thinking, oh, will we never ever go to the, on a boating trip? Is it really going to happen? Do we have to abandon our trip? So we have to go back home? So many self-defeating thoughts would have come in. But what did Jerome do? He had taken a conscious decision to, make a choice, right? So he now just gathers himself together and he takes charge of the situation, and he thinks, I never going to say it is not working. I no longer say that the obstacle is stopping me. And he goes to the driver and he says, are you going to the Kingston line? He says, I don't know. I may be a Kingston line, or I may be a, the Waterloo loop. But what does Jerome say? He says, you be the Kingston line. And he persuades him, and they reach the Kingston, and they are able to go on their boat. So this is, how, as the Shad Helmstetter says, this is how you can start reprogramming your brain, your mind. What do you think of it,
Absolutely.
Siddharth? What do you think?
Absolutely. I can completely relate to what Jerome did. I can tell my story, and that can be very relatable to this particular topic. In 2020, pandemic happened, and I was stuck during this COVID when the initial phase was going on. I was stuck in a country outside India, and it was very gloomy. Like nobody was there. I was with my customer and clients working virtually, not able to see anybody around in the city I was. It was so
Horrible.
gloomy that I could not feel any motivation even for working. So just to motivate myself, being a positive guy, I tried to write certain notes. I started putting quotes, poems, some small stories, and I used to put them on my social media handles,
Wow.
and just feel good about it. Eventually, somebody started seeing those notes, my friends, and they started saying, "Wow, we are getting inspired by your quote, poems, and stories, and all that."
It's
So I felt
amazing.
good. Okay, if I can if I can motivate you, great. I'm motivating myself. If that is helping others, then that is also
Yes.
great. So I was feeling good because my work was not making me feel good, but this writing process was making me feel good, and that is exactly where I got this idea of changing my career from a IT consultant to becoming an author.
Wow.
And it
Wow.
it
That's
was it was just
amazing.
a small thought. It was just a small thought because I didn't know whether there is even a job called author. Will I get enough, salary or enough money to pursue this? All that was all questions, but still I started doing that.
How brave.
Continuously, I wrote for 3 years, and 2023 I quit my job. Sorry, 2022 I quit my job. I wrote for that many long days, and every day I was writing.
Wow.
When I quit my job, I was very confident. I was very happy that I have done this, and people are appreciating it. 2023 I wrote my first debut novel, and after that it's history. So
Yeah.
I have written more than
Uh,
15
we
plus,
know now.
20
So,
plus novels. Yeah,
25
I
books
got
you have
25
written.
books. Yeah,
lot of awards.
I got bestseller. I got
Yeah.
Booker
All the
Prize. I
bestsellers.
got a
Yeah.
lot of things. So nothing is stopping me anymore in this author journey. So just that decision to change myself and persuade that thought of becoming a writing, starting my writing journey and becoming an author was itself such a big change for me. I believe this decision to change helps a lot, and it brings amazing
Definitely.
transformation in our lives. What do
Yes.
you feel,
Definitely.
Shitapa?
Yeah, I can absolutely relate from where you are coming, and you have taken a drastic big step. I will say kudos to you for that
Ah,
amazing courage you have shown, because any decision you take needs a courage. And I will hats off to you that you have not even taken, just you have almost proved that it is going great. So
Yes.
my journey also started with the corporate world, where I was stuck for a long time doing the same old, repetitive work of corporate, which we do in IT. And there was something which was, bothering me, that I'm not able to focus on my passion. I was just working. I was not picking up my passion parallelly. I was doing for some point of time, and then it totally got cut off from me. And that was actually, impacting me, because I was not happy within. So one day, when I was in the peak of a work, every year it was happening that I was thinking, okay, now I will start writing a book. It became 5 years. I was holding on to that thought that I will write a book. And one fine day, I decided that, okay, this situation will never change until I take an action. And that night, I just thought I will focus on my passion as well, and I will start writing the book no matter what, because rest everything we will figure out. That was my thought. And I uh, with that decision, I enrolled in a India Authors Academy to my writing journey. And that is the day from when I took a decision that I will start writing. But my life around
wow.
nothing changed. Okay, it was the work. I was swamped with work. I was swamped with delivery. The critical things were on my plate, which needs to be delivered. Everything was going on. And and it was a new phase. So it was not easy. When you take a decision, you need that courage to implement it. You need that stamina to face through the change and adapt the new changes.
Very
So that's
true.
where I think the decision, implementation, everything brings to a success, because you need to sustain that change as well. So that was my journey from just a IT professional to now an author as well. And
Wow.
history is 6 books from now. It's just 1.5 years, and I'm balancing
Amazing.
life.
Amazing.
So Geeta ji, what's more is there in Shad Helmstetter's level 4?
Yes, level 4 is really, really interesting because As we have seen, from level 1 we are, accepting our negativity, negative acceptance of, self acceptance of our negativity, and then we go on to, needing to change in this level 2. Then we go on to the level 3, where, we are actually taking a decision to change. Whereas in level 4, we are now putting into practice, in the sense we have now deliberately and actively using these affirmations to replace and to always see how we can reprogram our mind. So actively and deliberately using these affirmations to reprogram our mind. All right. So here it is like you use the words I am, I have. So there is a perception, there is a strong belief or a strong visualization that I've already reached that goal. So, for example, let me take up an example of the very, often used law of attraction technique of visualization, where there is a technique called as, the quantum leap, where the person, he sits in a meditation and he starts to connect to his future self. So now he has this roadblock that he is not a good communicator, he is not a good leader, he is not a good writer, he is not a good, person, a relationship management person. So now he connects to that, his future self, whom he imagines is having all the qualities which he is lacking. So that future self is the one who is a wonderful, relationship manager, who is a wonderful leader, who is a wonderful writer, who is a wonderful communicator, and he sees that what he is now and what the future self are now same, because there is a quantum leap from the present to the future, and he now sees himself as have achieved all those qualities, which is as if he's already having it in the present sense. So there is that visualization of the desired goal as have already happened, and he believes in that. His subconscious starts to believe in that, and he uses the word, I am a wonderful communicator, I have a very good communication skills, I am a very good team manager, I am very good at networking. And this is how we start to reprogram our mind and move towards making it happen. So as you can see, even in the fiction that we saw in the last Tuesday's episode, where Jerome and Harris, they are starting to go towards the Kingston station, and you know how much luggage they have. They have heaped it on the street, and standing at the corner of the street there, at their feet, all the luggage is waiting, and they're waiting for the cab. And as they are waiting, you have all these bystanders, the neighbors passing so many comments. So they are saying, somebody saying it is a funeral procession, somebody saying it is the bridegroom, somebody saying they're going in search of Stanley, and somebody saying, are they going on an ocean trip? Somebody saying they're not going to try, starve for weeks. And all this is so much humiliating and embarrassing for Jerome and Harris. And it is so similar to the self-talk that we have, negative self-talk that we have in our mind, which keeps on putting us down. No, you can't do this. You are not capable. You are always, forgetting this, that, this. But what does Jerome do? He takes, he starts to believe, he starts to change his thought process, and he imagines that he is capable of having achieved his goal of going on that trip, right? And that is exactly what we need to do. We have to visualize as if the desired goal is already accomplished. And that is where the Shad Helmstetter says you must get away from that first level of self-acceptance of negativity, and the levels 2 of just needing and saying I should and procrastinating, to the third level where you take a decision to change and look for choices where you can transform from your past, the habits and your attitudes, and then go on to the level 4 where you actively and deliberately start using these positive affirmations to reprogram your mind and see as if and visualize as if it is already happened in the present sense. And this is exactly what we have learned in today's session. So what do you think, Shritapa?
Yeah, so true, Geetaji. I
What
think
do you think?
can you give us a relatable example from what she said? I think that will totally help people to relate it.
I can, because, like I said, the author journey I took was a very difficult one when I started, because I was thinking it was, just writing, and people will start loving that writing part of me. But then writing also has so many aspects to it. So I was writing all these years when I started, and I was getting a lot of negative comments during that period.
Yes,
If I
yes,
would
the
have
hate too.
heard those negative feedbacks, or would have minded those negative feedbacks, then I would not have been an author, because then I would have gone back to my IT job, and I said I'm very happy there. But
Yes, very true, very true.
somehow I took the courage to, exactly like Jerome has done that, these are like negative self-talks, which we do to ourselves that we are not capable, we are not, ready to accept this particular journey of ours. Without minding all those negative comments, I moved ahead. I was learning from them. I was improving my writing process through that. But even somebody said in a comment that you don't even deserve a star. If I would have minded that comment, then I would not have been an author.
Oh
So,
God.
uh,
Yes, I
yeah.
have had
So that
experience. Yes.
was, but then I learned from it because then I was trying to understand why people are not liking my writing. It was maybe because they couldn't understand or relate to the emotion I have talked about or written about, and that's where the issue was. So what I started doing was improving my writing style, connecting with the emotions, bringing more words which can
Wow.
bring meaning and purpose to the writing, and the essence can be brought out easily. So with that improvement I could actually even uh, get those many reviews which were positive, and to this level that it became a bestseller.
Yes.
So I have
This is
Amazing.
insight
changed,
for us.
changed my
Exactly.
thought process
Great.
completely. Yeah, completely from those negative thought process, negative self talks, negative comments, to a very positive personality today. Even now I get negative feedback, but I take it as a coming in the stride, because it is something which is helping me improve myself, but not to consider that as my limiting belief that I cannot do it. So that is how I am treating them, and that helps me a lot.
Very
How does self talk help you, Chitapa?
Yeah, I can absolutely relate this to that because I was also in an environment where suddenly what happened, like everything was going good in life and something changed. The environment changed where your office environment is some disturbing, and your home, which was full of life, suddenly became only the walls and you listening the silence.
yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, a
True.
lot of things changed in my life in one phase of the year, and that was when I was also struggling with a lot of things in my where I needed a self talk for myself. So
Hmm.
here what happened was I was all alone in the house, staring the walls in the night, and there was no one to talk to, there was no one to even speak for. Although then that is where it became worse when there was a lot of work in the office, the lot of things were not as per I was thinking it to be, and there was a lot of things happening in that place also. And
True.
where both the personal and the professional life goes for a toss, that's when someone starts, and that is when I was also having another challenge, that my personal life was not stable. Where everyone was settled in life, I was struggling. So
Hmm.
everything was in one point of time was too much to handle.
Hmm.
That is when I started with my self talk, that I have dealt with challenges before, and I will be able to deal with it even now, as I have done it before. This is just a change. I will accept it and adapt the change, and let me
That's
see how I
amazing.
can do it. So then I started saying to myself, I'm not alone. My
Hmm.
loved ones are just a call away. So sitting
Wow.
at
Yes.
my bed, I used to say this to myself, that I'm not alone. My loved ones are just a call away. And then I used to say that this is just a phase, and I will overcome this phase soon. So it will just pass by, and I need to be finding something productive for myself. So that's when I just deviated my mind and started self talk, that, okay, I will channelize my life better.
Yes.
So what I did immediately, I called a friend. So this is what I think is a very good solution when you are feeling low. Just give a pump to yourself that yes, everything will be okay. This is just a phase. It will go, and call a good friend of yours to
Yes.
manage
Yeah.
yourself better.
Wonderful.
Manage yourself, and that's when I felt better. And quickly I note down some steps which I will do from go forward to
Hmm.
make my life alone at that home very interesting.
Yes.
That's when I picked up canvas painting. That's when I picked up walking. That's when I picked up running. That's when I started joining Samak Dawar's dance classes. And
Wow.
my life was so busy that I didn't realize I was alone anymore. So
Yes.
self talk just changed my life. And this is what I will like others to, follow when they are stuck in their life.
Very inspiring, very inspiring. Takeaways.
Thank you.
Very
So
beautifully
I
expressed.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we have very well, concluded the two levels, level 3 and level 4. So level 3, we have learned the decision to change was a very important step which we need to take. That we need to take a decision to change, and when we take that decision, it has to be with courage and just go with that positive mindset. And the next level 4, which we learned, is better self-talk. Because just now you heard how a self-talk can turn your world around. And
Definitely.
just from upset, from being depressed, you can just be that happy person.
Yes.
And all you have to do is a positive self talk. So, with this
Definitely.
note, I think we had a very powerful conversation today, which many of them who are listening us or will listen to us can relate to their life, implement in their life, and do wonders for your life. So,
Yes.
with this, I think we will be concluding the BWB show today. And it was very nice interacting with you all again, with the two lovely people,
Yeah.
Geeta ji, you
You
again
all
on next
have a
Tuesday
wonderful day
Bye.
and
also.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weekend.
Bye
Yeah.
bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.